I'm Ron Allen, professor of preaching and Gospels and Letters. I've been on the faculty of Christian Theological Seminary since 1982. The thing I most love about teaching is seeing students come alive to the possibilities of becoming participants with God in the transformation of the world into a realm that is more loving, peace, just, abundant, full of dignity, respectful, a world of mutual solidarity in which people hold one another up. And I believe in the classroom, gathering around the Bible, having deep conversation can open up individuals and communities to this possibility. I grew up in a large conservative church where the Bible was centerpiece. It was an open-minded conservatism, and I found that gathering around the Bible with my teachers and classmates made me alive in a way that I wasn't otherwise. It brought me into a depth of community that I seldom found elsewhere, and it gave me a sense of identity, purpose, mission, and connectedness to the larger world. It bestowed a vocation on me. I found that the preached word has the power to touch the self at some of the deepest levels and to help the self feel its connectedness to others in the sanctuary and to empower the community, as a body of witness, bathed in God's unconditional love, empowered by the sense of God's Spirit, working together for a good that would benefit all. I envision the study of the Gospels and Letters in relationship to preaching in the same way that I do the entire theological enterprise, which I describe, along with a number of others, as a conversation in which the Bible often sparks the agenda, and then people gather around it with questions, ideas, perspectives, issues, and by asking what the Bible asks us to believe and do, we can then come to greater clarity about what we believe and do and would like to do. And the interchange, the interchange here, the conversation is the interchange between asking what the Bible proposes that we believe and do and how this relates to our own deepest convictions. In this respect, my theological method differs from that of a good many others in the preaching community. I think, no, by and large, among scholars of preaching and ministers, there is an assumption that you always go from the Bible to today in a kind of one-way bridge. That is, the Bible has an X, a message, a something that needs to be clarified, applied, or somehow implicated for today. Whereas I think the biblical message itself is sometimes open to question, and the conversation is not only how can the Bible help us, but how can our ways of thinking help us not only understand the Bible, but go beyond the Bible, where biblical materials may actually limit the expression of God's unconditional love, God's unremitting call for justice, God's eternal hope for peace, God's overarching wish for abundance for all. The relationship between the academy and the church I would also describe as a conversation. On the one hand, the church raises questions for the academy to deal with. At the same time, the academy raises issues that need to be important to the church. Sometimes these fit together hand in glove. Sometimes the one alerts the other to something the other had not been thinking about and which proves to be very fruitful. I think there is a lot more quality indigenous theology out there than we in the Academy sometimes take into account. And I have to say, I'm really tired of hearing people in the church complain about the egg-headedness and ivory towerism of the Academy, because in these halls, academic study is geared toward its existential and communal implications for the church. We want to dig the deepest that we can to get the best material that we can, not simply to translate for the church, but to bring into real dialogue with the church. And I've had experiences in Bible studies in church basements underneath a bare light bulb with the mold just hanging on the cinder block walls, in which lay people have, by asking nothing more than the questions that occur to them, prompted me to reevaluate some of my own thinking.